Yo, what is up guys, Face here and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In today's video, we're going to be going over the auction vehicles. I'm going to be letting you guys know which ones you should think about getting. If you can save a bit more gold, which ones are going to be the best bang for your buck. And also which vehicles you should completely stay away from. So with that being said, let's head straight into the auction, start bidding, and let's see what's on here. So, as you can see, I'm going to be starting from the tank from the furthest to the left. So basically the T23E3, and I'll end with the vehicle furthest to the right. There could be a few vehicles that have at this point been sold, so I'm not going to be covering those ones because obviously you cannot get them anymore. As you can see, there are still 2 more vehicles still to be implemented into this auction, so maybe I should have waited an extra 2 hours to do this because then one of those vehicles might have been added, which most likely they would have, and then the next price drop, this tank will be added. So with that being said, let's head straight into it, and hopefully the next vehicle that comes in here in 2 hours isn't the greatest vehicle. If I'm not done with this video by then I'll definitely mention it in this video at the end. But yeah, let's start with the T23E3. Gosh, that's a mouthful. But this is basically a tier 7 medium tank. It has one of the most deadliest guns at tier 7. Or at least it did, maybe 6-7 years ago. Yeah, this vehicle is extremely old. It's one of the oldest tier 7 tanks in the game, tier 7 premium tanks at least. And for that price, which I'll get over in just a moment, this vehicle is definitely not worth it. Now, the T23E3 can be found in the store in your weekly or monthly crates. So basically, the crate that you receive every week can possibly give you this vehicle. So if you are lucky enough, you can get it, but it's not a great tank. While it does have a pretty decent credit coefficiency, meaning you will make a decent amount of credits, the tank has absolutely no armor. That means that's around the turret, the mantlet, everywhere on this vehicle can be penned with no problems at all. And again, it's a tier 7, and for the price, 6.5k, you can see around here that a lot of tier 8s are going for that same price. So the T23E3, I'll definitely suggest you guys to just completely stay away from it. I'm pretty sure the 27 people who've bought this vehicle did not know what this vehicle was about. So yeah, definitely don't waste your money on this. It's a very poor tank to have here. Our next vehicle is the Type 57. Now this is actually a very, very good tier 8 heavy tank. It is also, I think it's a collector's vehicle now. I think it used to be a premium. Whichever one. It does still have a pretty decent credit coefficiency at least. And with that, for 6.5k gold, great vehicle. Nothing really much to say about it. It has a lot of armor. It has good gun depression. It has your pretty basic 400 so alpha gun, so it hits hard, has really good gun depression, mobility is pretty decent for the amount of armor it has, and roughly overall this vehicle is actually a really good tier 8 vehicle. Would highly suggest getting it if you do end up wanting to spend about 6.5k gold. As you can see, for 6.5k gold you could either get the T23E3, which is a waste of money, or you could get the Type 57, which is just a bang for your buck right there. Okay, moving on, we're going to go on to the Object 590. I'm going to be flying through these, by the way, so I don't waste your guys' time. It's a quick and short review on every single one of them. Now, the Object 590 is a pretty decent tier 8 medium tank. It has a very nice alpha, but the gun handling is pretty bad. I don't really like the gun handling. I find that it can be extremely inaccurate from time to time, but it is a pretty decently armored vehicle at tier 8, and it is a lot different to a lot of other tier 8 vehicles that you can buy. So it is very sexy looking as well. I personally think this vehicle is a very, very nice looking tank. And with that being said, for 8.75k, I can't recommend it, because for almost 9,000 gold, you had the opportunity to get some tier 9s, even 10s in this auction previously. So for that price, you really must want this vehicle or be a collector in order to go and get your hands on it, because it's nothing special. It's not going to outshine any other tier 8 vehicle out there, especially ones in the tech tree. So with that being said, Object 590, good contender, but definitely overpriced. Now we got the Type 5 Carry, which I have no points in really discussing why this vehicle even exists. It's basically a more buffed up version. Let me see if I can load back into the game quickly. If I go into the, which is it? It's a, yeah, here it is. It's basically a slightly buffed up version of the Hori TI. And in all, I would actually just say the Hori in the tech tree is much better. You're better off just playing this for free than going and getting your hands on that one by paying gold. So yeah, with that being said, don't waste your gold on getting this vehicle. Mind you, it can be a decent tank, and it does have a pretty decent armor profile for the tank it is, and the gun is pretty good. But yeah, overall, you have a better contender in the tech tree for absolutely free. Okay, and now we have the Defender Mark 1. Now this vehicle is a pretty old tank as well. It's part of the Wargaming Tank Nation, whatever it's called again. But basically, it is an autoloader, very nice autoloader. It reloads its clip very long. It is a very long clip for its tier. However, what you do have is a 4-shot gun that can just rip up enemies. If you are fully held down, there is no tank at tier 8 that can reliably pen this vehicle's turret. So that just means that when you are in a held down position, only showing your turret, and just spamming that button to make sure that all your shells go out very quickly, then you're going to do a lot of damage. And it's pretty mobile. The only issue with it is that it is a very large vehicle. It's like the Centurion Mark 1 in the tech tree. So it is a very large vehicle. However, even though it being that large, not a lot of vehicles can hesh the vehicle, only besides the rear end of it. So you don't have to really worry about that unless you're versing some high hesh pen tier 9s. But yeah, overall, the Defender Mark 1 is a great vehicle. I do really like playing it. The gun is pretty accurate. It has a very deadly gun in terms of how much damage it can output. My only gripe is that how long the reload is in terms of reloading the entire clip. It is pretty bad, and it takes quite a long time to reload, unfortunately. But if you are a skilled player, this is actually a very nice tank to have. And for 8,000 gold, mind you, that is quite steep. I would have liked to seen it more like at 7,000, which is what it's going to be at the next price drop. So lucky enough, if you are going to be watching this video on time, you might be able to see this and get your hands on the Defender Mark 1 for 7,000 gold. Moving on, we have the Batchat Bopurrasque. I just usually call it a Bopurrasque because obviously there's no other vehicle in the game called a Bopurrasque, but there's many called Batchat. But with this being said, it is a very nice tier 8 medium tank. Now, that is what I'm going to really put emphasis on. This is a medium tank, and I really wish it was a light tank so it could take advantage of all the light tank perks such as camo rating and your camo while moving and so forth, because the vehicle is very small. It almost looks like a light tank, and it almost feels like it deserves a light tank class. But unfortunately, Wargaming has put it into the medium tank class for whatever reason, and for that, I feel like it is a bit lackluster. You could probably play a few of the French light tanks and get a better experience because, mind you, the gun on this is very, very good, much better than the other tier 8 medium or light tank alternatives. And for that, I do think that the Batchat is a very, very good tank. But I wonder what you guys think on that term there. Do you also think that the Bopurrasque should be a light tank and not a medium tank? Let me know in the comment section below. But moral of the story, for 10,000 gold, it is not a good deal. I mean, again, you could get tier 8s back here for 6.5. Why would you go and spend an extra, I don't know what, 3.5k gold just to have the Bopurrasque? And I don't know. But the vehicle is also very hard to play. If you are not a seasoned player, if you're not really good at playing medium tanks and light tanks, specifically light tanks, you're not going to have a good time in the Bopurrasque. This vehicle requires a lot of thinking through the duration of the game, so I would highly suggest, if you are going to pick up this vehicle, to actually contemplate if you are a seasoned player and if you're going to actually enjoy this vehicle, because it is a hard tank to get your hands on and also to just play correctly. Now we have the big contender. I love the WZ-120. It's been in the game for quite a while now, I think like 6 years or so. But that has still not changed how good this vehicle is. It is the cheese wagon, which I think is what a lot of people call it. But it's just a fabulous vehicle. In some scenarios, when you are at a slight angle, this tank's upper plate becomes incredibly hard to pen. A lot of tier 7s won't even go through this thing's upper plates, even on flat ground, which is crazy. And on top of that, you have a very good gun. I'm actually going to be purchasing this vehicle in the next 2 hours because obviously on my account that I am on my European, I do not have this vehicle. But it is a fantastic tank. If you can get it, highly suggest you to get it. Even for the 8.5k gold mark, it is a very good deal because you're getting an extremely good tank. It's not very hard to play. It is pretty mobile, has decent armor, has a great gun. There's nothing really bad about the vehicle at all. The only thing you could probably argue is that its turret, it has no turret, and its gun arc is not the greatest, but mind you, the mobility is very good, the track traverse speed is very good, so you're not going to struggle keeping up to your enemy medium tanks. So yeah, definitely suggest getting this vehicle. For 8,000 gold, it's actually a steal. I know a lot of the times this vehicle's released at like 10 to 12,000 gold, which is pretty crazy, and it's not often in the store. So I would highly suggest you to get the WZ-120 if you can. I see there's about 2,000 of them left, so not a lot of people are actually getting it. And for some reason, our next tank has almost sold out. For whatever reason, there are players buying the Forest Witch. It is an absolutely horrible vehicle. Mind you, it does look kind of crazy. It looks kind of bad, to be honest. It's a horrible looking vehicle. It's the size of a mouse almost. And it's just not great. Why are people buying this vehicle for 15,000+ gold? Like, it makes no sense. And I do believe this is a tier 7. So for people buying this, it's just absolutely stupid. I don't even want to discuss it too often because, you know what? Even if this tank was half the price as it is being listed right now, it will still not be worth it. Yes, it is a unique vehicle. It is unique in the fact that no other vehicle really looks like it, but it doesn't mean that you should go and get it. It is a horrible tank. for what you're getting, for the price especially. You could almost get 2 WZ120s for the same price as this Fire Switch, which just needs to be considered here. Definitely don't waste your gold on this, please don't. And obviously we have 2 remaining vehicles. They will probably drop in the next 2 hours, and then the next one on the next price drop. So yeah, curious to see what they are. Probably something good or probably something horrible. And obviously you can see all the other vehicles that have been sold in this auction. Unfortunately, these are all over. You cannot get a single one of these vehicles now as they are expired. So let me know what you guys think of the 2025/2024 auctions. They have been pretty decent. There's been a lot of really good tanks in this auction compared to last year. And I just really think that Wargaming is doing a good job with these auctions. Mind you, a lot of them could be a bit lower price since we only get it once a year, but we sometimes get the half-year auctions, so we'll have to see how those turn out. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful in some way or another. If it was, leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, guys, hopefully your shells hit their marks, and I'll check you in the next one. Goodbye.